Ice seems to have the ability to preserve things far better than many other methods out there. So finding things that are frozen will allow us to better understand different periods of time throughout the centuries. From full specimens of extinct animals to airplanes trapped in the snow. Here are 12 frozen discoveries you won't believe. But first, thanks Derpy Cake for leaving us this comment on our photos taken at exactly the right moment video, and letting us know which one you thought was the funniest. We'd like to hear your feedback on this video, so let us know which frozen discovery you find to be the most interesting. Number 12. The Ice Mammoth. It's not each and every day you come across the remains of a woolly mammoth, let alone one that's extremely well preserved. Due to frigid current conditions of the areas north of the Arctic Circle, anything that passes away here has a chance of becoming a remarkably intact fossil, preserved for thousands of years. This dramatic find took place on the Lyakovsky Islands, just north of the Siberian landmass. They found the remains of 6 woolly mammoths who had well-preserved skin, hair, and trunks after being trapped in glacial ice for 39,000 years. Clumps of its trademark hair have miraculously remained intact, as you can tell from this photo. This gives us a one-of-a-kind look into our prehistoric past. Scientists even claim to have found a sample of its blood and muscle tissue inside. This gives us the option to possibly bring this amazing species back by methods of cloning. Number 11. The Bog People. People who were buried and naturally preserved from unique conditions of bogs can become extremely creepy, and facial features remain remarkably intact, as you can tell from this photo. Despite them being well preserved, their skin turns an eerie color from the surrounding conditions. This is from a combination of the highly acidic acid water, low temperature, and lack of oxygen. The oldest bog body dates back to 8000 BC. If it doesn't already seem creepy enough, the bogmen often seem like they were sacrificed in some gruesome fashion. The bogman, known as the Grovel Man, was found with stab wounds on his arm, indicating that he tried to defend himself against an attack. So be careful when you walk across the bogs in Denmark late at night, because the Bog People will get ya. Number 10. Incan Mummy. The ancient Incas had a cruel form of sacrifice known as capacocha. This required them to leave their most beautiful children to freeze in the Andes Mountains while they were sedated by herbal potions. This was considered to be an offering to the gods, but it also seemed like it preserved the bodies in perfect condition. This is of course great for the archaeologist, but downright creepy for the rest of the world. This 500-year-old frozen mummy was discovered in Argentina and seems to be of an adolescent girl who researchers believe had tuberculosis. She was dubbed the Incan Ice Maiden shortly after her discovery. Researchers learned a great deal about how the Incas dressed and their hairstyles. What would you do if you stumbled across a mummy like this? Number 9. Otzi discoveries. You might be familiar with the discovery of Otzi the Iceman, who's Europe's oldest preserved mummy. He was found around the Austrian and Italian border by the group of hikers on the Alps. However, this mummy has proven to give us an endless amount of information, and they're still making discoveries about him. This man died 5,300 years ago, which was before the pyramids or Stonehenge were even built. Scientists agree that this is one of the most remarkable mummy discoveries ever made, and some believe that studying the bacteria found in his stomach could lead to advancements in modern medicine. In 2001, they found an arrowhead lodged in his shoulder. They also found signs of acupuncture, which was believed to have originated from China. Other mummies could be out there in the Alps, just waiting to be discovered. Number 8. The Pith of Iris Sibericum. While many creatures aren't able to survive being frozen in ice very long, other organisms such as viruses are able to survive for over 30,000 years. Researchers decided to head to the frozen Russian region of Siberia, west of the Bering Strait, and uncovered something shocking. Below 100 feet of snow was a living fossil that's been frozen in Siberia's permafrost. This ancient virus will still be infectious to humans if it's thawed, but they claim it has no effect on us. But could it really be a zombie apocalypse type virus, considering the fact that no one's been exposed to it for over 30,000 years? What's quite abnormal about this virus is that it's actually visible with just a standard microscope, and no high-tech gear is needed to see it. It's one of the largest viruses ever discovered, and it's about the size of many bacteria. Could something like this be lurking around on sheets of ice on other planets? Number 7. The Dilatov Pass discovery. Young students decide to travel to a dangerous destination in Russia, a high mountain in the Ural mountain range. When no families or friends had heard from them, the Russian military decided to investigate the situation. All 9 hikers died, and something extremely strange had happened, and their campsite became a crime scene. An unknown force had struck these students, and hypothermia was clearly not the case. When their area was discovered, the tent was slashed from the inside. It was believed that they were trying to escape in a hurry. Russian government officials were eager to hide this incident from the press. What exactly happened here is still a mystery, even to Russians today. Number 6. The frozen moose discovery. Normally, when you think of Alaska, 2 things usually pop into your head: ice and moose. Well, here we got both. A teacher on a hike in northwestern Alaska made a mysterious discovery in November of 2016 when he saw these moose antlers popping up from the ground. He took these photos of what appears to be a moose popsicle that was buried under 8 inches of ice in some parts. They found another frozen moose deeper under the ice with its antlers clashing against the other moose. You might expect this type of thing to happen more often in Alaska, and cold water can prove to be a very real threat. They said their hypothesis was that the moose was getting into a fight and then they stumbled into this freezing lake and drowned. You can imagine that this moose would probably be well preserved at least until summer came around. Number 5. Abandoned US Navy jet. This mysterious aircraft has been left on the beaches of Iceland for the past 33 years, and there's just something that's a little bit unsettling about it. The foggy volcanic beach makes for an eerie setting to find a Douglas Super DC-3 airplane, and its condition doesn't make you feel any less creeped out. The crew was forced to crash land on this remote beach due to mysterious reasons in 1973. Its large wings are missing for some reason, and all the windows are broken out from the inside. Luckily, the crew survived, but it's believed the windows were smashed due to the crash landing. During winter, this plane is basically frozen and surrounded by snow. Some suggest that the crash was actually due to a lack of fuel, while others claim it's from harsh weather conditions. Could there have been some unknown force that was possibly responsible for this crash? Number 4. The Bog Butter. I can't believe it's not bog butter. How would you like to spread your toast with a little bit of bog butter? Sounds yummy, right? 22 pounds of this stuff was recently discovered in Ireland dating back 2,000 years. It was actually buried in a bog and apparently is still edible. This prehistoric dairy product managed to stay well preserved due to the cold temperatures of Northern Ireland and low oxygen in the bog, and allegedly it kind of smelled like cheese. Some claim that this could have been an offering to the gods in order to keep them safe from natural disasters. And what god wouldn't appreciate a big hunk of butter? This was later carbon dated and transported to a natural history museum where they could preserve it. Butter often spoiled quickly in ancient times, and the best way to keep it edible was to bury it underground. Other bog butter discoveries were found encased in wood or animal hide. Number 3. The Tollan Man. The Tollan Man is, and still is, one of the most remarkable mummy discoveries in the world, and scientists have learned so much from this discovery. This one was also preserved with the mysterious conditions of the Danish bogs, which allowed for preservation all the way down to the wrinkles on his face and the stubble on his chin. You're looking at the face of a prehistoric man, which might be a little bit mind-boggling. It was discovered in May of 1950 when brothers were exploring the area. It's believed that this man was a part of some strange ritual due to the way his body was positioned. Number 2. The Star Unia discovery. In addition to the woolly mammoth, don't forget about the woolly rhinoceros. This 1/6 deep rhino used to roam through parts of Europe and northern Asia 40,000 to 8,000 years ago. Our ancient ancestors often depicted these rhinos in caves and on pottery until they went extinct mysteriously. No one knows for sure what it was, but scientists debate upon theories such as overhunting, climate change, or some type of plague. One amazing specimen managed to survive thousands of years well preserved, with much of its original traits still intact. This was found in Star Unia, Ukraine, and this is kind of a discovery that doesn't happen too often. It was found about 5 to 9 meters underground near the surface of a gold mine. The discovery also confirmed that it had thick brown skin and even fur. It's believed that this animal fell into some kind of sinkhole and was trapped. And number 1. Yeti footprints. The word Yeti is a Tibetan name for the abominable snowman, and basically, they have a myth about the Bigfoot as well. They describe him as a hairy ape-like creature that inhabits the Himalayan mountains in Tibet and Nepal. Many people have taken the challenge of trying to locate this elusive beast, but no luck just yet. However, these people in this photo seem to believe that they actually found a footprint that might belong to the Yeti. There may not be clear evidence of his existence, but no one can really prove that he doesn't exist. The true Yeti could be high up in the Himalayas and live at an elevation that no man dares to venture up to. It's hard for people to explain the massive footprints that are left in the snow. It's strange how completely different isolated cultures can even hold on to similar myths as we do.
So which one did you think was the most interesting? Be sure to leave us a comment in the comment section and subscribe for new videos every day.